Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about how to start an estimate from a lead using the Blue Estimate Generator. We'll also look at where you can capture client information, notes, details, etc., and where you can add files and things like that. So across to my BuildXact account here, I'm in a lead here and I've gone into the estimates section of that lead. Side note, if you, for whatever reason, you're deciding not to use leads, the equivalent would be going to estimates and saying create a new estimate. But because I am using this leads in this example, I'm going to go leads and create a new one. And then the AI estimate generator, or Blue Estimate Generator, is this button up here. When you get into here, what it's going to do is, from a prompt that you give it, build an estimate covering the vast majority of things. And I find this great in two cases. One is if you've got a client and they're kind of interested but kind of not. A quick AI quote can often give them enough info to then push them to make a decision of if they're going to go ahead or not. Also, the AI generator can be really useful where you just want a head start on the quote and then you're going to fine tune it later. In this example, I'm going to use the kitchen renovation, and it will drop in the kind of sample or default little blurb of text here. I find that often I'll start with this and then kind of change from it or tweak it. So for example, it could be a 900mm oven, or you might have different details that you want to remove. Whatever it be, type them in down the bottom. And as you're doing this, it's going to want to know where to pull the information from. So if I click here, this goes back to the idea of supplier integrations. If I have no supplier, I can just go generic, no supplier, and it just pulls the information from elsewhere. Otherwise, if I am connected to suppliers, I can go, hey, for this job, specify all the material is coming from Bowens or wherever it be. As a bonus point, if you want to just kind of talk to it and have it dictate what you're thinking, you can use this little microphone button. And if you're like me, it's much quicker for me to talk things out than it is for me to type them. So for me, that's a really good feature. Once you've got the blurb in here, you go Estimate Generator, and this is going to go through a couple of steps. So first of all, it will go through the description you've given it, work out how many categories that is, which is what it's doing now. And then following that, it's going to go through and work out the components of each of those categories. While it's doing its thing, a quick note, AI is fantastic. It's being used more and more every day. I just want to make sure that people are aware that it's an AI generator. It may make a mistake here and there. Although, to be honest, I've been pretty impressed with it thus far. Really, the main point is just anything AI, I would really suggest you have a quick eyeball over it before you send it to anyone, just to avoid any issues. All right, so it's just finalizing all of that, and it's pushing me into the estimate. Couple of points here. It pushes me into the estimate costings because that's where it's put all of its information. I'm just going to go, yep, that's great. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour through how it's put this in, and then we're going to go back to the estimate details just for a few extra points on places to keep other information. So what it's done is gone through and broken this up into different categories. It's assigned time for labor, material costs, etc. As we get into other videos that cover the estimate costings, we're going to talk more about how to edit and change and build on this. But from the AI blurb that we gave it, this is what it's generated for me with my estimate. Back to estimate details, and a few bonus points, really just to say that the work location we've got listed here, but we also have a client location or address for them. If the client lives at the work site, which often they will, I just leave this blank. I only really use this in the case that the client is, let's say, a developer, and they've got an office address and then work at different sites, or it could be someone living overseas and they are developing a house over here. Going on down, I've got things like notes and documents, very similar to how it operated in the leads. So I just use this for storing and remembering things. Client portal. So there's a whole other video on the client portal. When people are getting started with Build Exact, generally this is not the first thing that they're going to be doing. So if you're new to Build Exact, I'd suggest looking at things like building the estimate, making sure you can run the jobs section before you really kind of consider the client portal for use. Main thinking there is there is no estimate, then there's not really anything to put in the client portal. Lucky last, digital signatures. When you share a quote to a client, they can digitally sign it. All records of that stay here if you need to download it or view that document. Awesome. As always, any questions, let us know.